Hello friends, welcome to today's episode of English Learning for Curious Minds. This is the show where you can immerse yourself in exciting stories and learn fascinating things about the world, all while improving your English language skills. I'm your host, Alistair Budge, and today we're diving into the life of a man who truly deserves the title of a real-life adventurer, Percy Fawcett. You might have heard of him in an earlier episode where we discussed lost civilizations, but today we'll be giving his story the spotlight it deserves. This is a tale full of adventure, mystery, and courage, a true life journey of a man who set off in search of something extraordinary in the depths of the Amazon. It's a story of determination, ambition, and a disappearance that left the world searching for answers. So, let's begin with the story of Percy Fawcett. Imagine yourself in the late 19th century. Many parts of the world were still unexplored, vast expanses marked on maps as unexplored territories. Exploration was seen as the ultimate pursuit, offering the promise of fame, wealth, and the chance to be remembered in history. And it was during this era that Percy Harrison Fawcett, a British explorer with extraordinary resilience, made his mark. Known for his ability to endure harsh conditions that would have defeated many others, Fawcett embarked on an epic journey into the Amazon rainforest in 1925 at the age of 58. His mission was to discover a mythical city he believed to exist, a place he called 𝐿𝐧𝐠. But just after starting his expedition, Percy Fawcett vanished into the dense jungle, and his disappearance sparked a mystery that has lasted for decades. Let's rewind and look at how Percy's adventure began. Born in 1867 into a wealthy family from Yorkshire, Percy Fawcett's early life seemed set for the comforts of Victorian aristocracy. His father was an adventurous spirit, mingling with writers and indulging in gambling. While many in their social class would lead a leisurely life, Percy was different. He was drawn to far-off places. In his youth, Fawcett was sent to the Royal Military Academy in Woolwich, where he developed a love for challenges, viewing danger and risk as part of the thrill of life. After graduating, he joined the Royal Artillery, but he quickly realized his true talents were elsewhere. Percy was particularly skilled with languages and had an affinity for the exotic, which led him to service in places like Sri Lanka, Hong Kong, Malta, and even North Africa as a British spy. By the time he was in his mid-30s, he was already well on his way to becoming a renowned explorer. His passion led him to join the Royal Geographical Society, an organization that sponsored and funded explorers to chart unknown territories. The Royal Geographical Society, though it might sound dull today, was once a powerhouse in the field of exploration. It helped fund some of the world's most famous expeditions, from the journeys of David Livingstone to Charles Darwin's research. It was here that Percy found his calling. In 1906, he was sent on his first mission to South America, a task that would change his life forever. Despite the treacherous conditions, Fawcett succeeded, returning ahead of schedule, and proving himself to be an expert in surveying uncharted territories. He gained a reputation as a man who could endure the harshest conditions, even walking through jungles infested with disease and dangerous creatures, all while recording his findings with remarkable precision. His stories of incredible feats, such as encountering tribes that no European had ever seen, and battling through illness and dangers that killed others, made him a legend. His ability to survive in the Amazon was unmatched, and his diaries were eagerly read by people back in England, who waited eagerly for his next return with tales of adventure. During his expeditions, he often heard of a hidden city deep within the jungle, a city that locals spoke of in awe. These stories, once seen as mere folklore, began to intrigue Fawcett, especially after he discovered evidence that seemed to confirm the existence of this mythical city, which he called 𝐿. In 1911, when Machu Picchu was discovered in Peru, Fawcett saw this as further proof that hidden civilizations still awaited discovery in South America. But as World War I began, Fawcett, now in his late 40s, was called to serve. Despite being of an age where many would have retired from such duty, he returned to Britain and joined the military. The horrors of war changed him deeply, leading him to question the superiority of Western civilization. He began to see wisdom in the tribal societies he had encountered in the Amazon, which seemed to live in harmony with nature, in stark contrast to the destructive power of modern warfare. After surviving the brutal trenches of World War I, Fawcett returned to his life's quest, the search for 𝐿. Although his first attempt in 1920 had been unsuccessful, Fawcett was undeterred. He faced a significant challenge in securing funding for his expeditions, as many saw him as too old or reckless to continue. Despite the obstacles, Fawcett managed to gather just enough support to return to South America in 1925. He was not alone this time. He brought along his son, Jack, and Jack's friend, Raleigh Rimel, on the dangerous mission to locate the lost city. They ventured into the heart of the jungle, communicating occasionally with the outside world through letters. For a time, all seemed to go well. But then, the messages stopped. The trio disappeared without a trace, and despite numerous search efforts, no one ever discovered what happened to them. Some believe they perished from disease, others speculate they were killed by hostile tribes, and some even suggest that Fawcett found 𝐿 and chose to live there, never returning to the outside world. This mysterious disappearance led to a worldwide obsession with Fawcett's story. Adventurers flocked to the Amazon to retrace his steps, but many of them also vanished, with over 100 explorers lost in the search. By the 1930s, the Brazilian government banned further searches, fearing for the safety of others. Despite decades of attempts to uncover the truth, Percy Fawcett's fate remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in exploration. Yet, his belief in the hidden wonders of the Amazon was not entirely in vain. Recent archaeological findings have suggested that advanced civilizations once thrived in the Amazon, lending some credibility to Fawcett's vision. Percy Fawcett's legacy endures, with many calling him the real-life Indiana Jones. His life was full of contradictions. An imperial agent who questioned the superiority of his own civilization, a devoted family man who took his son on his final journey, and a man who risked everything for a dream, knowing that he might never return. As he once said, "The difficulties are great and the tale of disasters a long one, for the few remaining unknown corners of the world exact a price for their secrets." Speaking exercise. Storytelling practice. Try summarizing the story of Percy Fawcett in your own words. Focus on the main points, and practice speaking clearly and confidently. Roleplay. Imagine you're Percy Fawcett. Describe your mission to a fellow explorer. Include details about why you're so determined to find the lost city 𝐿. Vocabulary exercise. Pick 5 words from the story, e.g., legendary, expedition, mysterious, resilience, folklore, and use them in different sentences to practice. Try to use them in real-life scenarios.